All right, what's going on, everyone? Looks like the 5.2.4 patch notes came a little bit early, so I'm going to dive through them really quickly. I saw one change that's fantastic, so definitely worth discussing in and with just that one change. So, that being said, guys, let's dive into the patch notes, combat and gameplay, monster abilities, exploration, housing, quests and zones, quests, exploration, dungeons and group content, combat and abilities. Fix numerous issues where passives pertaining to sprint speed or cost would not update properly when meeting or failing their conditions without relogging or rezoning. Fix an issue where you can retain the initial boost of speed granted from activating sprint. Fix an issue where you could sprint as a ghost after resurrecting with a soul gem under very specific circumstances. Fix an issue where a damage type status effect of damage caused to targets would fail to apply if they had a damage shield active. Alright. Ardent Flame, Searing Strike. Venomous Claw Morph. Increase the ramping bonus damage per tick to this morph to 17, 18, 19, 20%, up to 9, 10, 11, 12%. Wow. Alright, so I just did a video on dots yesterday and kind of showed that Venomous Claw wasn't, they increased the duration by another 2 seconds, so it wasn't like a flat 30% nerf, but it still wasn't great. This changes things quite a bit. It really does. I don't really want to do another Venomous Claw test for you guys, but this is a very big bonus. I mean, that's what, 80%, 70% buff to how it scales per dot. So that's pretty nice. The last couple ticks of Venomous Claw are going to be pretty brutal. Earth and Heart Stone Fist updated the visual effects for this ability in the Stone Giant Morph. As noted in last week's PTS patch, we will continue working on this ability's visual and gameplay elements for a future update. Alright, I guess we'll have to check out Stone Fist as well. Teleport Strike updated the duration of minor vulnerability for this ability to 10 seconds to match its morph's duration. Perfect. Ambush ability is still currently displaying as 8 seconds and will be fixed in a future patch. Sounds good. Grim Focus. Increase the base duration of this ability, its morphs to 40 seconds, up from 20 seconds. So no longer will you need to constantly recast this. This is a very, very nice change for Nightblades in 1vx situations. Oftentimes, sometimes you have to kite quite a bit, and all of a sudden, your stacks, you finally get your stacks, and you go to activate your burst, and then it drops off, and then you have to reactivate it, and then hit the burst again, and then the burst isn't there anymore, and then you're sad and you got to do it all over again. So this is very nice. This is very nice that the duration got buffed by this much, so it allows you to potentially line up your spectrals a little bit easier. And then finally, guys, remove the minimum travel time of the bow proc from these abilities since they are slower than other projectiles such as crystal fragments or snipe. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that was my erection slamming the desk. That is a fantastic change. That is absolutely fantastic. We talked about it on one of my videos. I can provide a link in the description, but I could go on for a long time talking about this specific change, but this was needed. When you add a cast time to an ultimate, and then you have a cast time on a bow proc, it's very hard to line up that specific burst to kill somebody. And I showed on the video that I posted that there are other classes that just have a lot more burst than Nightblades. Nightblades aren't the worst, but they're bottom tier. And so when you talk about classes having burst, when Magplars, when Stamplars, when, Sorks, when all these classes have more burst than what's supposed to be the burst class, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because, they also have their own inherent strengths, so Templars have the ability to have burst heals and purifies on top of that they have more burst than Nightblades. Nightblades still have cloak, they had high maneuverability, but it was really hard to finish kills sometimes on a Nightblade. And so this is going to ease that quite a bit, and this goes from making Nightblade very tough to play sometimes to very good. This is going to be a very solid change. I'm definitely going to show this one on the PTS because, yeah, all of you Nightblade mains out there should be rejoicing right now because this is definitely erection worthy. So, Relentless Focus Morph. This morph now lasts 60 seconds at rank 4 instead of 30 seconds. That is a huge buff for the Stamina Morph. 60-second duration, that's a lot. Not that it's like a huge impact on sustain, but that will help your overall sustain quite a bit. So very, very nice changes for Nightblades right there. Both those. Path of Darkness, Twisting Path. This morph once again uses the same scaling coefficient as the other morph, Refreshing Path. This will result in approximately 132% damage increase from the previous PTS patch. Okay. Daedra Curse. Reduce the bonus damage for pets to 20% down from 40%. Awesome. I think this is nice. Pet Orcs were coming. Okay. I know I made a very trolly video talking about Pet Orcs, but that was because at that point in time, Pet Orcs were ridiculously overpowered. They're not as of Scalebreaker, they're not overpowered anymore. It's fun to talk about the elsewhere Pet Orcs because that specific build was probably one of the strongest builds I've ever seen, as far as, what it had, what it could do, what it was capable of, all those sorts of things. And they nerfed it too much. And with the increase to dots, shields just nearly aren't as effective as they used to be, so Pet Orcs just aren't as strong. But I think from a few buddies that have been dueling, they've been saying that Pet Orcs have been, pretty damn strong again. Really tough to deal with because of, all the damage and crazy healing that they have. So this does make sense to reduce at least the pet damage down. I mean, you could still, your curse is still going to hit hard, your frag's still going to hit hard, but your Atronach isn't going to just delete somebody's health bar. I think this makes sense. So I'm not trying to rag on Pet Orcs. It was just at the time I felt like I had to rag on Pet Orcs. So bound armaments, it's all in good fun, guys. I don't hate anybody for running one class or anything like that. It's just fun. It's just, hey, this is strong. Yeah, I know it's wrong. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Bound Armaments updated the sound effects for summoning bound daggers with this ability. Okay. Item sets. Sentinel of Rukugums. Reduce the amount of stamina restored from the set to 115 per second, down from 500. The set now also returns Magicka per tick. Interesting. Consumables. No, they're fine. Combat and gameplay. Quests and zones, UI. So very small patch notes. This is obviously the week before, it goes live on PC. Very, very good changes. The Searing Strike change is very nice. It allows DK, specifically stamina DKs here, to have a very, very effective dot. Keep in mind, the Magicka DK morph heals you. And so this one, if the other one's going to do good damage and heal you, it does make sense that this one just does more damage since it's not healing you. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy. DKs are looking like they're in a pretty good spot. I actually like the Stonefish change. I do think it's a good spammable. It just didn't look very good. So I guess we'll have to see what the new visual effects for this ability are. So, yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. I'm going to calm down a little bit, and then I'm going to probably hop on the PTS and just pop a few quick videos for you guys, probably just to go over that the Stonefish change and the Merciless change. So that's going to be it, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please provide it in the section below. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.